Hey Soul Fam, Amelia Adair here. Welcome. I welcome you for those that are new to the channel. On this channel, we grow, we heal, we love, we work on being better versions of ourselves than we was yesterday. Now, I know I've been sharing 77 pieces of poetry with you guys, telling you to go purchase it. That is such a great read, and it is. And I stumbled across a poem today that really lifted me up and really just made me feel better. Okay, it had me feeling better about the day. It brought some clarity to me. And so I wanted to share it with you just so you can kind of get a feel of where my head be at, And it's called The Light in You. It's called The Light in You. It's right here. So I'm going to read this one. It's not too long, but it just talks about the light that a lot of us carry, and we grow blind to it, right? We just kind of ignore it. So I'm gonna read it, and then we'll do a little talk about it after. And I'll do this from time to time too, because one is 77 pieces of poetry in here, so I have enough to go around. And it's a great way for us to try to connect. I don't know when or how many times I'll do it, but subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Press the bell and you'll be notified, and you'll know when I'm sharing a poem. All right, Soul Fam? So let's read it. I'm going to read it because I didn't memorize this one. And this is more of a freestyle, meaning like I didn't even plan to share this with you guys, but I was like, let me share with the Soul Fam. I shared a lot of poems with you so far, and some of them are in here. So let's begin. The light in you. When you have the light, people don't like it when you shine it so bright. It's too strong for their eyes to see. So they search for flaws to dim your light. You see, they pick and search for flaws underneath their smiles, talking and laughing with you, meanwhile analyzing your every move, your every word and every groove, waiting for the perfect moment to make their move of destruction or attempts to disrupt your emotions or your attitude, attempts to pick at your looks as if their opinion should change how good you look, attempts to belittle your achievements with smart remarks and scolded stares. They envy you when you are around because everyone stares. The spotlight is on you. They never realize it's the light in you that brings the eyes on you. Ooh. Soul fam, let's discuss this really quickly. Excuse me. There's so many things that been sparking off in my mind as I was reading that. This is why reading is fundamental, number one, Soul Fam. When you are reading, warm. When you are reading, Soul Fam, it just sparks ideas. So when you have good reads in front of you, it's very great for growth because it allows you to just kind of be in that headspace, And I wanted to talk about attempts to pick at your looks as if their opinion should change how good you look. Let's talk about that right there, Soul Fam. See, oftentimes, Soul Fam, we have to learn how to walk outside with our best confidence on, right? So when someone does take that compliment towards you, it's extra, It's not needed, but it was nice. I remember just what was it, 2 days ago? I was in a grocery store, and I was in the pasta aisle, to be exact, right? And I'm trying to figure out if I want to do Alfredo, marinara, just get both, whatever. So I was trying to pick out some pasta, and this lady walked by, and she was just like, wow. She was like, I love your hair. And I was like, thank you. And then she was like, is African American hair harder to get that light or something like that? Excuse me. And then I was thrown on guard, because I was just like, because I didn't know at that point if it was a compliment or if it was like a way to kind of ask questions and be nosy, you know? So it's all about intentions, right? See, when you are minding your business, so fam, and you doing what you have to do, you gotta understand, people see you. People see you. And you just have to be mindful, okay? Because she was just like, is African American hair? I don't feel like that was appropriate. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna feel like that was not an appropriate question that you asked some random person in the grocery store, you know? Because it was just more of an obvious question too. Well, like, first of all, who said this was my hair? Just number one. And I responded and I was just like, no. You know, I just kept it brief. I was just like, no. You know, I was like, no, I didn't go in depth like, it's a wig or it's this or it's that. And we have to be mindful when answering questions like that, so then. If someone is attempting to, you know, belittle your looks or give you a compliment or make you feel insecure about it, you have to have that confidence within yourself. Like, you know, you gotta just keep it brief. You gotta keep it brief. But that's what I was thinking about when I read that. Attempts to pick at your looks. Because in a sense, it's like, it's like when people say you're pretty for a black girl. You know, and it's like, well, am I pretty or am I not pretty? You know, so just when you have that confidence within you, you'll just brush that off. Right, so fam? So when I left the grocery store, I did think about it. I was like, clearly, you know, I was like, did she say that? I was like, you know, leave that right at the grocery store. We go just ignore it. We go just pay it no mind. And we have to learn overall, so fam, that everything we hear, every compliment, every insult, we don't have to take it to the grain, right? You don't have to be so sucked in and shift and change and look in the mirror like, ooh, be insecure. This is so fam. If you like whatever you like about yourself, hair, clothes, weight, wear it with pride, all right? And don't be so sensitive when you're going out, because there are going to just be people that maybe she just didn't even have mindfulness, right? Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Everyone is not always aware of what's going on, of where they are spiritually and things like that. So you have to just walk out with a nice little protection on, right? Confidence protection, minding your business protection, and just be coded. And don't be easily sucked in to what everyone got going on. Ooh, let's talk about some more things. Ooh, so fam. Attempts to belittle your achievements with smart remarks and scolded stares. They envy you around because everyone stares. The spotlight is on you. They never realize the light is in you. So right there, so fam, they never realize the light is in you. So oftentimes, it's not even your hair that looks good. It's not even your shirt that's pretty. It's not even the lip gloss you got on. You know, so fam, oftentimes, so fam, it's just who you are inside. When you are feeling good inside, when you were just doing shifts and changes, when you were just operating from a great space, you start to shine inside. You start to feel good inside. You start to feel like, ooh, $1 million. I had people walk up to me and say, you're rich. And I'm like, you know, those are compliments I want to hear. So you have to understand, so fam, when you walk outside, how are you walking out inside? Ooh. When you walking outside, how are you walking out inside? How are you internally? Right? Are you walking around thinking about all the negative things that you done been through? Are you walking around thinking about all the negative things from last week? Are you walking around thinking negative? Are you walking around trying to see what you can get? Right? Sometimes we meet people that walk around trying to get, what can I get? from people. You know, like, whose attention can I get? Whose anything. Okay, so fam, trying to consume, if that makes sense. Ooh, how many sales can I get? How many, walking around with that give me entitled attitude. So we have to really check ourselves internally, so fam. Ooh, I want to do one more line, but ooh. When you have the light, go to search for force. So fam, when I wrote this poem, The Light in You, I'll share a little more. When I wrote that poem, The Light in You, I was at a place in time, a place in my life where I was a little bit more naive. Okay, I'll be honest. And I was hanging around friends. We're gonna put low power mode. Battery gonna die, but we got 10%. Okay. I was a little naive, and I was hanging around a group of people who didn't have my best interest at heart, And as we were hanging out, truth started to appear in conversation, right? And so they were just always speaking on my looks, right? Like, where'd you get that? Why you do that? How that look? Why like every time I looked different, or I did something different, or I showed up in a place and I got different attention, it was always, I don't even know the right words to use. It just didn't feel genuine after a while, like all the questions started to feel like attacks, right? Like I kept being positive. I kept having the benefit of the doubt. I was just being me. And I don't know how to be anyone else. When I try to be someone else, I get anxious. I'm like, this isn't, what's happening here? I start just feeling scripted, so I personally can't show up as no one else. And as I started to receive attacks, like, let me explain an attack real quick. Like, oh, that hair looks nice, but that other hair looks better. And I'll be like, okay. And it's like, okay, was that necessary? And some people really can't help themselves so bad. It's embedded in them to be negative and to tear down. So there is room for change. You just have to be the one to address them all the time. Just address them. Just like, okay, like you gotta just be ready in a sense, or just leave them alone, leave them where they at. The choice is really yours, what you have the energy to put up with. For me, listen, I feel like we're adults. You know what you're doing when you do it. If that's who you're choosing to be, cool. I'm never the one to. I do enough coaching. If we supposed to be friends, at this point, you should know how to be a friend. So you have to pick your battles, in other terms. And so fam, take it from me. When you have the light in you and you start walking in this positive direction, and you start just being more positive and reading more books and hanging around the same people, if they're not making that shift, then they're gonna try to. So bad. If you're hanging around the same people and you're making that shift and they're not ready for that shift, they're going to find a way to kind of like dim your light. Like, calm down, sit down. You don't know what you're talking about. And just being the devil's advocate, in a sense. A devil advocate is someone who's just always finding that, well, what if? Okay. What if everything is great? What if I'm right? What if this works out? So you just have to be aware, be mindful. Don't be searching Don't be searching so fam. Sometimes we the ones that searching for it. Don't be searching for nothing. Sit back, be you, be chill. What's going to happen will happen, and when it happens, you'll know. You'll know. You'll know. It'll be clear. It'll be clear as day. Definitely as you build your relationship with God. Be like, you'll get the signs. You'll be like, ooh. So you have to just have that relationship, and you will know. All right, so fam, if you ever want to book a session with me and have a conversation, let's talk about it. Let's get perspectives. Let's work on being better versions of ourselves yesterday. Let's invest in ourselves today so that way we can grow tomorrow. Ooh. Or if you just want to take a course and heal from anything, grow from anything, get some insight, some bigger insight, I do have courses available. Check the links below. There's a great list of variety up there for you to choose from. And if you want to get a copy of 77 Pieces of Poetry, because that was just one of the 77 nuggets that I have placed in here, the book is available on Amazon.com, or you can check the links below as well. I have that for you, Soul Fam. And in order to be a part of the Soul Fam, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and apply the knowledge. Sometimes we hear knowledge and it goes in one ear, out the other, but we have to learn how to apply it to our life, comprehend, understand, give it time, be patient, do the work that's required. Faith without works is dead. Alright, Soul Fam, press the bell so you see when I post again. I will definitely be posting some spontaneous videos like this one. And thank you guys for always tuning in, and I'm gonna see you at the next one. Bye for now.